They are some of the most dangerous drivers on the road.
And they're driving huge semis, but there's not much you can do to make sure you're safe. Courtney Garish is here to explain. Courtney?
Well, Mike, drowsiness is a factor in 100,000 reported crashes each year, involving 1,500 deaths, some that could be prevented. Retired trucker Ron McCudden drove for more than 40 years, much of that time with a medical condition that could have caused his death and the deaths of countless others on the road.
I never thought that I had a problem. I never snored, never woke up gasping for air like they say some of the symptoms are.
Ron was diagnosed after he retired with sleep apnea. Looking back, he realizes the condition made him drowsy during the many hours he spent on the road.
When I think of some of the symptoms, I experienced them when I was driving, the sleepiness and that. I don't know any driver who drives 10, 12 hours a day does not experience fatigue.
Ron's not alone. One study estimates up to half of all big rig drivers have sleep apnea, and that, experts say, can be deadly.
When you're not breathing, your brain's sending you reminders all night long to keep breathing because it senses that your oxygen's dropped, and so you don't get a peaceful night's sleep.
Deborah Reed is a nurse practitioner at the Sleep Wellness Institute in West Allis. She says a growing number of her patients are truck drivers. Once they're diagnosed, treatment is mandatory. The problem is many truck drivers are afraid to come forward and are not getting diagnosed.
People are reluctant to talk about this because they're afraid they're going to lose their job.
That may soon change. There's a push to make sleep apnea testing mandatory for some truck and bus drivers.
So I do expect that we will see a mandate, if you will, of that sort sometime in the time horizon of probably the next 2 to 3 years.
Green Bay trucking company Schneider International screens its drivers already and supports a testing law.
It's the right thing to do, and you'll not only feel good about the fact that you step forward, but you're going to feel much better once this condition is being treated.
Treatment can be as simple as using a CPAP mask to keep your airway open so you get a better night's sleep and are more awake on the road. And that, Ron can say from experience, is key.
When you're driving a vehicle weighing 80,000 pounds, it better be safe, because if you have an accident, you're going to hurt and kill a lot of people.
And now that he's driving on 4 wheels instead of 18, he hopes every driver is getting a good night's sleep.
If they are at risk, I definitely feel they should be tested for their good and for everybody's good, the good of the public.
And the Schneider trucking official we spoke with is actually in D.C. this week talking to DOT officials about this very issue. It's also a concern for bus drivers. Milwaukee County Transit System, they don't have a specific program for sleep apnea, but they do have a new wellness program in place and a new in-house nurse to address, any employee health concerns.
I think it's fair to say there are lots of very safe truck drivers out there.
Yeah.
But if you don't get enough sleep, you got a problem, well, it becomes a problem.
It does.
Yeah, thanks, Courtney.